Hello everyone, I'm Mr. South. This is full lesson in 10 PE, and this is one of our videos on the 4 habits that have to underpin every lesson. So to teach outstanding lessons consistently, this is something that needs to become routine. This video is on assessment. So with assessment, one Google search and you'll find lots of different ways of going about it. I'm sure you'll recognise some of the strategies that are popping up on the screen now. And in PE, a lot of our assessment is done based on observing the students, but we still need strategies to make sure the students are completely involved in that assessment process. And then once you've got that, it's a case of making it a habit. One assessment method we all use is questioning, and you should be looking to make it a habit that students do not put their hands up. Hands up questioning can lead to some students able to avoid assessment and almost feeling like they don't have to listen. As an observer, you often see a teacher too reliant on 1 or 2 students answering questions and then that showing progress for the whole class. That's very obvious to an observer that that's happening. Instead, go with no hands up questioning. This will mean that you pick the student to answer. Now, depending on the difficulty of the question, you can select your student with this in mind. So you might use your progress tracker within that lesson to level the question appropriately. It's also good practice to offer some thinking time before you actually select a student. So you ask the question, you might give them 20 seconds to think, and then you select the student. Every student then has to use that 20 seconds to think about the answer because they could be getting selected. You could also have students share their ideas before you select your student, which means that those that maybe don't know the answer can find it off of one of their peers, so they are equipped with the answer when you decide to select your student. Now, assessment for learning is important in a PE lesson to check the progress of all students, but at the same time, it's got to be quick, not that quick. Come back here, you. And it's got to be impactful. Okay, so it's got to be quick, it's got to have an impact because we want to get back to doing physical activity. So there's one way I like to do it, and I use it quite often because I want the students to get into a routine. So I'll show you that simple way now. So here I am in the sports hall, and this is a really easy way to involve some self-assessment and peer assessment in your lesson, and it's a very easy method to make routine. So students get used to it and they get better at doing it. So I have a cone, 3 different colours, each colour representing my 3 different differentiated objectives. So for instance, a gold, silver and bronze. And then when I call students in, they get into the routine and you train them up to sit by the cone that they currently self-assess themselves at, which will look a little bit like this. And then once they're in that position, you can see their self-assessment. You've also been doing your assessment throughout the lesson through observation, and you may see that there's some people that may need to justify their choice. It could be somebody that's been a bit overconfident, they've put themselves in the gold line, but you think, you might need to justify that. So they may perform the skill you're looking at. Let's say it's a lesson on layups. They can then perform the layup, and you can select other students to assess whether they are sat in the correct line, or is there something they need to do to get to gold first, in which case they may need to move down to the silver line. So quick self-assessment, quick bit of peer assessment, then we can go back to the lesson with students more clued up on what bronze looks like, what silver looks like, and what gold looks like. Again, this is something that it's easy to make a habit in your lesson.